So this is the video that we've been kind of holding back a little bit. If you don't know, I do lighting for a band called Mavericks. I've been non-stop touring with them for the last 5 months. And obviously, touring means you have days off in cities. I recorded a couple of B-roll stuff for this video back when I started back in August of this year. I have now come to a better spot to share what the experience has been like. So part of the days off means basically that we get to explore cities, and in today's case, and this is 5 months after I started this tour, we're in San Francisco. So I'm basically just walking around this park that's in downtown San Francisco, and it's above ground level, and it's pretty nice. We started making our way west towards California, Northern California. We stopped for a DOT stop in Oklahoma City. Didn't really get much there. Then we stopped in Albuquerque, which is where me and a couple of the guys that I'm touring with, we went on a hike. And yeah, so let's get into that hike real quick, and then I will come back and share a little bit more. We actually left Nashville about 48 hours ago. Yesterday we stopped in Oklahoma City, didn't really record anything there. And just because there wasn't really anything to do. We only stayed in our buses, which I will show y'all later. But today we're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the crew and I. They're out there. We came out to Isabella National Forest, and we are currently hiking a trail up to the mountain. We're gonna try to get up there. Just got a bit tricky. Gosh. Now we're climbing through rocks and a bunch of plants, trees. Just like that.
It's still a trail. Looking at the map, it looks like we have to somehow go back at a certain angle and then go forward, but I'm not sure. You know what this is? Yeah, not this look, I think, but
Liking it?
dope.
Yeah, this is a cool trail, but I don't think we've ever done anything this rough.
Keep going. Careful, be careful.
Yeah, don't fall.
I wouldn't try it.
Alright.
You're staying?
I'm waiting for him. You pass your camera, maybe? Coming up. When you go, when you got it coming, come on.
We are finally here. Well, we're actually about to leave because we're going to take another trail down. But this view is worth the trip up here. And all the little rocks that we had to climb and all that stuff. But yeah, this is nice. This is beautiful. So after that DOT stop in Albuquerque, we made our way into California, and we had a few shows, and then we headed down south to LA for 3 days, which is where I rented a car, and I basically went around LA, kind of see what was up there. And then I also went to Maui, and also went to the state park, which is what I'm going to show you next. We so happen to be 4 days here in California, to be more specific, in LA, and so far it has been super enjoyable. And I actually took today, which is day 3 that we're in LA, on basically days off. I rented a car yesterday to kind of just scope around LA, you know, drive around, go to famous, highly known places. And I made my way out to Malibu, and now I'm at Point Doom, which is one of the places out here in California, or to be more specific, in Malibu, that, oh my goodness, it's freaking beautiful. It is a little bit cold, but not as cold. I mean, by cold, I mean like 70 or 68, somewhere on there. It feels like around that temperature, but this is freaking cool. Alright, so our second stop is outside of Malibu, and we're actually in the state park right now. We are at Taponga State Park, which is a state park in California. It's like north of LA, in the middle of Malibu and LA, if that makes any sense. It is 12:46 right now in the afternoon. I'm by myself. So I'm gonna try to enjoy this little hike. I don't have any water, which is a huge mistake for somebody who's hiking with a backpack. You know, I have everything but water. That's not cool. That's not good. But we're gonna try to hike as much as we can. There's supposedly some mountain lions and a whole bunch of animals out here. Coyotes and rattlesnakes, which I'm not very excited about. Alright, now that I got my little bit of water, hopefully it'll keep me up till we get done with this. But let's get to the trail. Let's see what we can find. And hopefully it's nothing bad, but it's something pretty cool. 2 more things. One, it's starting to get hot, so yeah, I feel it. 2, it probably wasn't too smart for me to bring white shoes. It's my second time I bring white shoes to hike. Not a very smart idea. I'm not entirely sure if it's because it's a Tuesday or if it's just normally like this or if it's because it's super hot. But I have not seen a single soul on this trail since the moment I started this trail. So you can become a little bit lonely, especially if you're coming like at sunset time where it gets dark. So I would recommend just hiking with somebody else. So just in case something happens, unlike me, I'm by myself. I don't know where I am, but I don't know if it's a road or if it's a concrete trail. I'm pretty sure it's a road. A little small road to somewhere, but I'm not too sure. Alright, so I decided to sit down for a little bit, just take this view in because it's super nice, and also just chillax for a little bit because I have to head back down in a little bit because the my parking pass was only till about 2:45, which it is now 1:48. So I'm gonna sit here for about 10 minutes and then head back down and, well, enjoy this view for a little bit. Alright, today is a new day. Yesterday I didn't really finish recording. So after the hike, I went all the way down, went into LA, went to in and out by the LAX airport. For those of you that know, that's a really famous, I would say somewhat famous place to go look at planes land, because the runway is basically right next to the in and out. So it's a great spot for taking pictures of planes, which I did take some, but I didn't record any, so sorry about that. And then I basically started cruising around, and pretty much that was all I did. But today I woke up a little bit later than I wanted to, but still relatively early, I guess. But we came out to northeast LA to Chinatown, which I'm pretty excited about because this is a really famous place. Of course, it didn't take very long for me to walk into Chinatown and see little shops set up on the sidewalk, just like you would in San Francisco or even in New York. I mean, you see that everywhere. They're trying to make a living, selling their stuff that they get from over there or wherever they get it. Say, just from what I've seen, it does seem to be a little bit smaller than the other ones, than like New York and San Francisco. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet, so I'm not gonna be, it's probably safe to say, not too safe to say that right now, but after I get out of here, I will come to that conclusion based on what I see. But we still have a lot to go through before I can make that assumption, so let's continue walking and see if we see anything interesting. Alright, y'all, so this is kind of crazy. So I spoke to the security guard here, and he mentioned to me that this has been closed for about 8 years or so, which I'm like, why haven't they done anything? And unfortunately, they're trying to do some fixing here and there, but it really hasn't turned out how it's profitable. And so this place has pretty much been, besides 2 stores, pretty much has been abandoned, and what would have been nice has now turned into basically garage for parking, and that's pretty much all that's open and that's left. This is sad to see, but that's crazy. And that finally brings me up to New York City, which is where Melanie came, and as I explained earlier, that's when we had a few shows after the LA show, and I didn't really film anything afterwards up until New York City. So that brings me to New York City, which is where I'm going to show you kind of what we did later, kind of what we did during those days. Didn't really explain very much of what I was doing or what we were doing at all, especially on that day that Melanie, just because I wanted to spend a whole lot of time with her. since we obviously have not been able to see each other very much. And with that said, touring has actually been a great part of my career. It has definitely challenged my wife Melanie and I, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I get to see cities that I've really never been before, even if it's a small city or a town. It's really exciting, and touring as a lighting designer it has its challenges, of course, as everything else in the world, but it has opened up my mind into to just, you know, take it easy every now and then. It has challenged me both professionally and personally, you know, being in a bus with 16 other people, or however many people there is on the tour, and just sharing spaces with them. Of course, we have 2 buses, but still, it can be challenging. But as time goes on, you build that community within the people, and that's basically where I've reached now. And of course, I miss my wife. I miss her, not having her here on our trips or on the trip, but at the same time, it comes with the job. But this is not the last one. There's going to be many more to come, and hopefully she'll be able to join me in for those trips. So if you could help us by giving us a like, and if you would like to see more touring videos, please hit that subscribe button down there. And until the next time, hopefully Melanie will be a little bit more involved in this in our next video. But until our next video, we'll leave it here, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.